Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I brought over the boy Hayzink, and what we're going to be doing in this video is talking about the Dokkan Fest Gotenks and Boo. I've seen so many different people, kind of like going back and forth on the Twitter, subreddits, Discord, wherever, comment sections, basically talking about which unit is better. But before we get into the actual nitty gritty, what is going on, Hayzink? How are you doing today, man?
Alright, man. I've had a busy few days painting my new house and stuff like that. You're just off the back of a 3.5 hour podcast, so energy levels might be a wee bit lower for this one, but we'll try and inject the hype. We'll try and keep the hype
Yeah,
going for the general public, mate.
yeah. Today was a big day over on the Global Gang podcast. If you guys don't know, definitely check them out. It was pretty cool. And of course, check out Hayzink's channel because we did a video prior to this. Basically, I mean, it's kind of part one, part two. So in his video, we did discuss a different variety of global things, like the current celebration, part two of this celebration, and stuff like that. So definitely go over to his channel and check that out. And, without further ado, let's jump into this video. So let's talk about each unit first before we get into like the actual verses, right? So Dokkan Fest Gotenks, pretty solid unit. The one thing I do like about Gotenks a bit more is that he greatly raises defense for one turn on his super attack. I think that's great. Unfortunately, I didn't pull Gotenks, but I have him on my JP account, so I played with him a couple times there. In terms of links and stuff like that, I think his links are all right. How do you feel about the first form Gotenks? We'll do it like that. We'll talk about each form.
Well, Gotenks is a funny one for me. I am in a position just now where I am so goddamn tapped on orbs. I got lucky. I don't know if you've seen my summoning video, but I pulled three Gotenks. I got them in a Goku Black, and then I managed to pull two in the one summon. I was like, geez, oh, here we go. So, in theory, I should have a 79% Gotenks, but because I'm so low on orbs, he's like 22% or something. I've made a stupid line where I've managed to just get his additionals, and you know what I mean? I've just been able to get those orbs, so I've got like some nodes unlocked at the bottom right and some at the top left. So I've at least got his additionals and crits and stuff like that. And I've not been able to see him quite at his full potential yet. So at 22%, I'm kind of seeing decent numbers out of him, and I quite like him. I've took him on a variety of teams so far.
So
I've
we're talking
tried him
about
on a
base
youth.
form
Yep,
a
yep.
bit.
I've
Okay.
tried him on a youth. I've tried him on a youth team. I've tried him on a fusion team, and I've tried him on a what other team? Special pose team. And even in his first form, I kind of like him. He links up quite well with the physical Gotenks, and I think he's decent. I mean, he's not top tier. He's definitely not top tier. Don't get me wrong. You want him to get to these other forms, but even at first form, I'd say that he's probably one of the better, if not the best, base form Gotenks that's out there.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's very solid. Not a bad unit at all. In terms of leader skills, so we could talk about that real quick. How do you feel about his leader skills? Because I think I saw you mention in that podcast today that you like special pose, and I don't think it's necessarily a horrible category either. I think there's some fun to it.
That's the way I would describe it. I actually, believe it or not, I had some fun with it. I went into it about Gotenks, Super Saiyan, Gotenks, Super Gotenks, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, Gotenk with Ghosts. I think I took Great Saiyaman, Super Great Saiyaman, the one from the Majin Buu saga, the STR character. He's on special pose. And I can't remember who I took for the last slot. I think it might have been Saiyaman 1 and 2, the free to play LR. And yeah, they done alright. I tried to clear the Legendary Goku event with them. Nah, I was maybe a bridge too far because my Gotenks isn't quite fully leveled, but they're fun. I'm slowly building up the links, and do you know what? I thought it was going to be horrible. It's not horrible. It's not the most stacked category in the world, don't get me wrong. But it's fun to use. It's definitely a fun category to use. But I definitely wouldn't rank it anywhere near like higher levels of Dokkan teams. But I wouldn't put it at the bottom either.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with it. I think special pose has its niche for sure, for sure. Youth, I'll just briefly go over that one. Youth is alright, honestly. It's not the craziest category. Unfortunately, it's pretty wonky in terms of links, and it's not necessarily one of my favorites, but it's okay. It's fine.
Well, I
So
did clear. I did. I mean, it's actually on my channel. I did do a Super Battle Road run using Youth. I actually totally forgot. I thought for some reason when I made that video, I thought he was special pose and fusion. So I did use Goku the World Tournament Goku, the one that's got the active skill. I used him as a double lead for that one when I probably could have used 2 Gotenks. But I had fun using that. He links quite well with a few of the characters in youth. I mean, realistically, all you need to do is throw him on with another Gotenks, and he's not really going to hurt too much for linking. But yeah, youth's a decent fun category. But if you can, special pose, obviously. I think I've not looked at him in his transform state. Hang on, I've got his Dokkan Awakening
Yeah,
version.
so
Yeah, it's
we're gonna
key
jump
plus
into it
4.
now.
No, 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 not transformation. On his Dokkan Awakening state, it's
Oh,
key
okay,
plus
okay.
4 and HP attack and defense 170 across the board. So obviously, if you can build a special pose team, you're going to get a decent buff from him as the leader, you know. But yeah, he's fun to use. Use him either on youth or on special pose, and you'll have a bit of fun with him, I think.
Dope, dope. All right, cool, cool. So, moving on to like the Super Saiyan Gotenks portion. So, I think this obviously is a pretty big step up, and this is where they did a pretty decent job with, evil Skinny Boo, well, just Evil Boo, and Super Saiyan Gotenks are both pretty good in this state. He greatly raises defense. He has a great chance to stun the enemy, which is great for Super Bad Road. So they did give him some Super Bad Road plays here. The one thing that I'm not a huge fan of is like how he has a high chance of getting 50% attack and an additional high chance of attack of 50% and then another high chance of 50% defense. It's like it's very RNG, right? It's cool that
Gives
they
me
did that.
flashbacks. Gives
Yeah.
me flashbacks to us talking about that Trunks and Goten unit where they become Gotenks. What is it with them putting random elements into Gotenks characters? Why did he do that? Do
I
you know
don't
what I mean?
know.
This is
I have
another
no
one.
idea.
It's weird. Why is Gotenks the character they choose to do that with? Yeah, he should have at least 1 or 2 of them should be a fixed 50% or definite 50%. None of this high chance, high chance, high chance nonsense. Because what is high chance? Just let me hover over it here. Is it 50%, 40% and 50%? No, it's 50%. Even at that, 50% is still 50% chance it doesn't happen, you know?
Yeah, it's just a bit weird, dude. It's a bit weird for him, but he's fine. I think he's okay, especially for like Super Battle and stuff like that. Them giving him the greatly raises defense for 1 turn is great.
Yeah.
I just don't like the RNG elements of it. But moving on to the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks portion of it, which is where everybody hypes this man up. They're like, this is why he's better than Boo, because he gets attack and defense of 100%, plus an additional of 100% attack when performing a super attack, and then he gets key 3 and a great chance, which is a 70% chance of launching an additional super attack for 4 turns. Now, here's the issue with Gotenks. That is only 4 turns, right? That is like, that right there, for those 4 turns, he's LR level, because he's going to be hitting a 4 million attack stat, followed by another 4 million attack stat, greatly raising attack and defense for 3 turns. So it's insane for those 4 turns. Those 4 turns, this guy is stupid.
Can I just clarify something quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that 4 turns when he is on the field of play, or is
Yes,
that 4
start of
turns?
turn.
Right, so it's 4 times. The first 4 times he appears, he gets right. Because you know how some characters like Int God Goku has his like 7 turns, but it includes the turns that he's actually off rotation. That's what I was meaning. Sorry.
I think it does.
So realistically,
Rotation. So it's
so that realistically
2.
means 2 turns.
Yeah.
See, that sucks.
So like
I
you're
don't
getting
mean
2
to
turns
push
of
on
that.
him. Yeah, I mean, why not say that then? You know what I mean? Just word it as for the first 2 turns you get to use this character. Because saying 4 turns can kind of lead people to believe it's something that it's not. I just don't like the wording of that. I get that's how they do it with characters, but it does devalue him quite a lot for me. I know I'm here to defend him, but I do think that it kind of devalues him a wee bit
That
because
kind of like
2 turns.
So here's the thing, right? I could say right now, yes, Gotenks is stronger than Boo, 100%, because if you add that in. But in terms of utility, in terms of links, in terms of overall gameplay, we'll get into Boo in a second. I do enjoy Boo more overall as a unit, but obviously I can't be ignorant to the fact that yes, I know Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks it outpowers Boo of 100%. Imagine Gotenks does a 5 million attack stat followed by a 4 million, and then he has a third chance of prompting his hidden potential system because he just did 2 attacks of doing another 4 million attack stat, greatly raising his attack and defense again. So I get it. Gotenks 100% could be stronger than Boo. So let's go ahead and move on to the boosts.
I have. Let's
go
just say I have seen him quite a lot of times launching free super attacks. You're right. When he first appears, he does. I'd say I'm not going to say like it's guaranteed or anything, but fairly reliably, he does seem to get those free super
Yeah,
attacks when you factor in the hidden
it's just
potential.
like Tech
So
Vegito Blue, the LR.
yeah, yeah, it does
Same
happen a
thing.
lot. But I do agree about his links. Unfortunately, with Gotenks, you really want to put him in there with another Gotenks. And the problem is, until they do the easy A for, is it the physical
Physical.
Super Saiyan 3
Yes.
Gotenks, until they do it for him, I don't really think. I feel that you're making a sacrifice to put that other Gotenks into your team. Does that make sense? Because obviously, in the teams that he's good for, like Potara, Majin Buu, because he works on Majin Buu Saga teams, you're kind of leaving out a good unit to put on a Gotenks who maybe isn't as good, just so that he's got a good linking partner. So yeah, I can see how that hurts him. And unfortunately, the other character in this Dual Dokkan Fest doesn't really have that limitation because there's a lot of characters he can link with. And I think that's a good segue for you to me stop interrupting you and let you jump over and look at that other
No, no,
character.
no. I'm glad you brought that up because no, 100%. I agree with you. 100%. 100%. So moving on over to the Boo side of things, which is typically where people kind of underline this unit. And I'm with Talon because me and Talon have talked about it a couple of times that we both enjoy Boo quite a bit. So how Boo works is he is a damage reduction unit. When Truth said in the podcast that one time that he's basically, Eijo Zamasu, he's not wrong. This guy is basically Eijo Zamasu to like that final portion, right? Basically the whole way through. But why I like this Boo more, which we'll get into a second. So looking at his first form, it's this 100% attack. He gives himself one key, and then he has 40% damage reduction with greatly raising attack for one turn. So he's the opposite of Gotenks in that regard. That he does attack versus defense, which I wish was defense, by the way. If they would have given him greatly raised defense for one turn, oh my goodness, that would have been awesome. And then talking about the categories, Majin Power and Artificial Life Forms, Hayzink, how do you think Boo's a better leader than Gotenks?
Yes, the reason I say that is because obviously it would have been nice if this had come out before the download of the global celebration, worldwide celebration, because he was introducing Imagine Power. But obviously with Buhan coming out, that's no longer a new category for us. However, the fact that we have Buhan that can slot into that category and he now gets a 170% boost, which is obviously better than what he gives as a leader, then I would say that him leading the team that some would argue has one of, if not the best LRs in the game,
Yep.
I think gives him a bit of a trump. Not only that, artificial life forms
It's a
doesn't have
good
that many
team.
great leaders, so I think both his categories are box tickers. Yeah, I think he has got the better leader skills, hands down.
Yeah, yeah, and I do like artificial life forms. You can run, the new EZA 17 that just
Yep.
came to global. You have
Yep.
access to 3 different 50% support units, which is insane. Not many teams get
Hmm.
that, and it's going to continuously get buffed whenever we get new cell cards or boo cards. It's going to come here,
Hmm.
which gives this guy
That's
some
true.
relevance as a leader.
And we can make the joke about one day we might get a kid Boo LR.
Yeah, he
He
might.
would obviously slot onto a team here.
Yep, yep, yep. There you go, there you go. And then moving on to the Majin Buu Evil
I must
card.
say though, I
Oh,
don't think his passive's great at that untransformed stage. I
it's
mean,
just
yeah,
100%
obviously,
attack. Yeah,
yeah, it's not magic. They need to obviously have one, I'll say downfall, and I think in his first state, it's definitely his passive. His passive's nothing spectacular at
I agree.
all in his first state.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. There's no defense. It's just 100% attack. It's very boring.
Hmm.
Um, it's just for the damage reduction. And then moving on to the
Yeah.
pure evil Boo. This is where I usually start defending Boo because a lot of people don't like this form. So let me give you like a quick rundown. He gets 40% damage reduction. He seals enemy super attack. He has a 50% chance of stunning the attacked enemy, and then he has a medium chance, which is 25% chance of dodging enemy super attack or normal attacks. So I get like the whole 40% damage reduction, right? Not many people are crazy about that, but they did give him a chance to dodge. He does stun, and he also seals. So they kind of work this unit in a way better than Zamasu because Zamasu didn't get like any of those things besides damage reduction. So they did a pretty good job in that sense. And I do think that he's a bit underlined in this transformation. I do think that he does a lot for the team. I've taken
Hmm.
him into some stages, and like that dodge does come through. The stunning comes through. The ceiling comes through.
Hmm.
Just kind of put him in the second slot for those type of situations. But other than that, what do you think about the second form?
I think he's okay. The thing is as well, I've done a video touching on this with Smalls, and Smalls was saying that I don't know if it's a bug or whatever, but if you float Fatboo off in the first turn, when he comes back round on the third turn, you can get this guy active. So it's as if you skip a turn. To get him to become available. So obviously, if you can get him on the field a bit faster, that's better as well. And I think he's okay. I mean, he'll be decent for once he's on the field, then obviously it makes that unit a lot more viable for things like Super Battle Road.
Yes,
Because you want the
exactly.
stunning, you want the sealing. Obviously, in Dokkan events and stuff like that, you don't really see that much these days. But for events like Super Battle Road, etc., this guy is going to be fairly decent at this stage. Um, Unfortunately, on Super Battle Road, you probably won't see any further stages in this because you've either won or dead by the time you get to the next set of transformations. But
Yeah.
no, run about here. This guy's no slouch.
Yeah, and a lot of people kind of like they don't think he's very good, but I'm like they worked around him with that damage reduction issue. Like they did a lot. I want to say they did a pretty good job with him, so I definitely enjoy his kit here. Then moving on
I
to the
don't actually know where the hates come from. I mean, I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen it on Reddit. I don't really know where the hates come from.
I don't know
I
either.
think Well, I do kinda, and I don't know why it got to this because he never actually said it was bad. Truth made a throwaway comment. He never called the unit bad, but people seem to interpret what he said as saying the unit was bad, but he never actually said that. But it just kind of stuck, and I think people are now like, "No, he's bad." I don't get it. I don't get how it got mistranslated, and that's what it meant.
Yeah,
Because
like
only
how this is
recently,
not a bad passive. Like look at all the stuff he does. Like I get it. Like the numbers aren't going to be huge by any means, but like he does a lot. He has a
I,
good kit.
I think people's biggest issue is any unit now that has a restriction of turn 7. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the thing. And Gotenks is in the exact same boat. I think when you have to wait so long for a unit to get to their tippy top potential that we're just about to go into, I think that's when people start getting a little bit, oh, we know past that stage in Dokkan now. But if we jump over and look at Super Boo, you'll see probably why people wish this happened a lot earlier.
Yeah, so Super Boo's insane. So he does the same thing that Gotenks does, where he greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns. He also steals super attack. Obviously, by this, there's no event in this game where you could steal super attack after like the 7th turn. If I'm wrong, definitely let me know. But I don't think there is for the most part. So that's like that's a throwaway right there.
Infinite Dragon Ball history?
But like, I know some of
Some of
them
them, some of them.
block it out.
Yeah, yeah, some of them do, but some of them don't. I mean, I suppose it depends, but yeah, there's not many anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely not many.
exactly. And then his passive skill is pretty good. So his key 3 gives himself a 220% attack. So that's very, close to like Merge Zamasu, if not the same. He gets 50% damage reduction, which is fantastic. And then he gets a 12% chance to crit per Rainbow Key Spear obtained. So at 55%, this guy could be launching crits, which is insane.
Definitely.
And he's very good. Again, like I mentioned in the past one where we're talking about Gotenks, I definitely see where people are saying like, yeah, Gotenks is stronger, but Gotenks isn't as reliable as this. This man does not lose his key, right? Gotenks loses that key and he doesn't have the greatest links. Boo links really well with a majority of his team. You got Majin, which is a pretty good link. You have Fear and Faith, which most units from the extreme class has. And I'm trying to see what else, because I guess like
If you put him
Dokkan.
on Imagine, if you put him on Imagine Power Team, I remember this because of the chain battle we had. A lot of the Imagine Boos have the wall standing tall. A lot of them have it.
That's yeah,
I
like
think
so his attack stats are gonna be pretty good. His key is gonna be fine. He's not bad, and I just hate it when people are like really like, oh yeah, no, he sucks, like garbage fodder unit. I'm like, where's the fodder in this? Like this is not bad at all. Like he has good links. Yeah, he does have big bad bosses, which is a little stupid to me that he doesn't, but whatever. He definitely should have had it, but other than that, it's like he's not bad. I don't see bad or like mid when I look at these units. Like Gotenks and
no,
Boo to me are not they're the higher class. Like they might not be Z tier or like triple S tier or whatever, but they're good. They're solid units. I don't have any issues with them, honestly.
no, I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with the units in this celebration at all. I think both of them were decent. I think the issue is more to do with the banners, but the units themselves are definitely um,
They're good.
up there, decent. And really, if it was to come down to a fight, I would use the decider being their OST, and Booze is an absolute banger.
Oh, Boo's is an
Booze is
absolute
brilliant.
banger.
Yeah, Gotenks is as good as well, but Boo's
Gotenks is more
definitely
like silly.
edges that one.
Boo's is like metal. It's dope.
I thought it was more electro, but we can argue on that one later.
But yeah, I mean, I like both, and honestly, again, like I mentioned, I know like Gotenks is stronger. Like I could, confidently say like, yeah, Gotenks is better when he's in that form. But I still overall enjoy Boo more as a unit. I think he's more fun. I like his, his kit more. He does more. He's a better leader. Like he links better with his teams, and he's just for me more fun to use than Gotenks. But again, that's just me. But
Yeah,
how do you feel for the closing up?
I fairly agree with that. I'm probably a little bit biased because I'll be honest, I like Boo as a character more than Gotenks. I don't know what it is about Gotenks. He's just never really ticked my box that much. He's an annoying wee character.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
he's just an annoying kid, right?
yeah. But as a unit, I've got to say, for me personally, I'd probably say Boo actually, because I think there's something to crits. You can obviously build this guy if you want to. You can build this guy for additionals because he's pretty much guaranteed to get crits. Because if you get 1, 2 Rainbow Keyskeepers, this guy's probably going to crit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
he can
true. You
do
get three, what?
really,
That's 36% chance to crit right there.
yeah, he can do really, really, really big numbers. So I'll probably edge it to Boo. A lot of people probably not going to like that. Everybody's going to be flaming us in your
Oh,
comments
I like
saying,
Boo
"Oh,
more.
how dare you? How
Straight
dare
no,
you?"
straight up, I like Boo more as a character, 100% as a character. But I could definitely say that Gotenks is stronger. That's like the only thing I'll give people credit for. Yes, Gotenks is stronger for 4 turns, but who cares? It's 4 turns, and with a wonky link set, super wonky link set. He's not linking with very well with his team. As a leader, he's not that great, and all around, he's not providing much for the team. While Boo just exists, like you could rock Boo as a floater, and like he'll be functioning with his teams greatly. So,
I feel like, and I think you would be comfortable agreeing with this, I feel like Boo works in the team that his category is there for, whereas I feel Gotenks you have to build the team around. I do.
yep,
I do, whereas I don't feel that Boo has that restriction. So if Boo can slot into pretty much any Imagine team, which he can, in fact, like you can take what some people would call the best unit in the game, stick this guy side by side with him, and they're going to work well together. Whereas with Gotenks, you're really restricted to putting him with another Gotenks character, and there isn't another top tier Gotenks character in the game right now. So to me, I think that's got to edge it for Boo just a little bit.
yep, I definitely agree with that. So, guys, in the comments below, let us know. But just don't let us know. Give us some, nice explanations on some of your decision making behind your process. I love to hear those ideas that you guys have, why you enjoy some units more than others, especially give us, reasons why you guys like Gotenks more or Boo more. Definitely let us know in the comments below. Again, check out Hayzink's video for the global update side of things, and we are pretty much good to close up shop. So,
Well, there is actually one thing that Gotenks has in his favour.
what's up?
He defeated Hitler.
Yeah, I tend to forget that movie exists sometimes. But
Well, he has got that. He has got that in his corner.
yeah, he does. He does. He did save the world from Hitler. So I
Still,
think,
still waiting for the Hitler card in Dokkan. I don't know how that would go down, mind you.
oh, that would be fun. I don't know if they would go. I don't think they'll do that. But
I don't think that would go down very well. Might cause a bit of controversy.
yeah, I think that would be a bit controversial. But all right,
Yeah,
guys,
just a bit.
we're gonna go ahead and sign off here. Thank you so much, Hazing, for coming on. Definitely check out the man's channel. Help him get some more subs. Check out his stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Everybody, take care and peace out.
Bye bye.